Yes,
Why are you still in Canada? Why are you still living in Canada?
Well, I'm living in Toronto because my son and his wife and their son live on the same street that we lived on. They purchased a house 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago, and that was before. I assumed that I would be in Toronto for the rest of my life because I assumed I would work at the University of Toronto and continue doing what I was doing until I was like 90 because I really liked doing it. And there was just no reason to assume. And I had a clinical practice, which I also really liked. And so that was pretty good life. And I assumed we were there permanently. And my son liked Toronto. And so we picked up a house and they live there. And so, but that's really the reason I'm still in Toronto. And how that'll play out over time, I don't really know. So,
because I mean, I'm sure you're seeing everybody that's moving. You know, you got Joe, who went from California to Austin. You saw Shapiro, whose company is in Nashville, but he's living here in Boca, right? You're seeing Ruben, who I think just moved in to, I want to say Miami, right? You got
Elon Musk.
You got Musk goes to Austin. You got your daughter who went to Nashville, right? You got all these people that are looking at, you know, Nashville, Florida, Texas. It seems like those three states tend to make people the most comfortable, and they're all red state. What needs to happen for Jordan Peterson to say, I'm kind of leaving Canada to go to a different state? Would anything happen that would cause you to leave that place?
Well, I don't think, as long as my son's there, I don't think so, because that's a big advantage to being there. But we're doing so much traveling, my wife and I, that in some sense, we don't live anywhere. You know, I mean, we were 3 weeks, 2 weeks in the UK, and then a week in Washington, and now we've been on the road. We're going to be on the road pretty much nonstop till March of 2023, because the tour ends in the States at the end of April. We'll hit 40 cities, and then Canada, assuming that's possible, but it looks like it probably will be, and then the UK and Europe. We're going to be back in Canada for 2 months in the summer, and then down to New Zealand and Australia and Southeast Asia. And then I'm going to Cambridge, I believe, in January to do a seminar on Exodus, which is what I wanted to do at Cambridge multiple years ago before they canceled me. But that's all been sorted out. And so it looks like there's a very high probability that that will occur. And then that's really as far out as we've looked. So that'd be March of 2023. And God only knows what shape the world's going to be in at that point. There's hardly any sense in planning out past that because everything is in such flux. There's no predicting the future. And I know how large corporations die. So there's this principle, Pareto principle, which is that the square root of the number of people in a given creative enterprise do half the work. And so if you're a news organization with 1,000 people, 30 of them do half the work. And you think, no, and you can think that all you want, but you're just wrong, because this is one of the most well-established findings in social science, period. So you got 1,000 people, and 970 of them are putting in time, and 30 of them are doing half the work. And then something shifts. Those people can't say what they want to say, let's say.
The 30.
The 30. Well, what do? Well, they leave. Why? Because they can, right? These are people, these are competent people. They're really smart, they're on the edge, they're tough, they have immense networks of connections. As soon as the ship rocks, they think, ciao, you think I need you. It's like you got your priorities wrong. You need me. They go off like Barry Weiss did and start their own thing. And so then you're left with the 970 that was only doing half the work.
Yep.
And then the next 30 competent people leave. And soon all you've got is people who run the legacy media. And they say things like, well, Joe Rogan, people shouldn't listen to him because he just wings it. It's like, how clueless can you possibly be? Or you have people like at CNN who treat Rogan like he's an outsider, despite the fact that he's pulling in numbers that are at least five to 8 times their average viewership. Joe is fringe. It's like, really? We'll see who's fringe here.